Imagine this. It is 20,000 years ago. You are standing in what is now France. But it doesn't look like France. It looks like Siberia. Ice sheets stretch for miles. The temperature is minus 60 degrees Celsius. Wind is ripping across the open plains like a frozen blade. And you have no central heating, no insulated jackets, no weather forecast telling you when this nightmare will end. You are naked. Well, almost. You have animal skins, you have a few sticks, and you have fire. If you can start one. Here is the shocking part. Scientists now believe that early humans didn't even have reliable fire during the worst cold spells. And yet, they survived. They spread across Europe. They hunted mammoths. They raised children in this frozen hell. Today, we are going to answer one question. How? To understand how they survived, we first need to understand what they were up against. The last ice age peaked around 24,000 years ago. An ice sheet covered most of Britain and Scandinavia. Beyond that, in southern Britain and northern France, the environment looked like a polar desert. No trees, no grass, just frozen dirt and howling wind. For over 9,000 years, these conditions kept humans completely out of northern Europe. It was simply too cold to survive. But here is what makes this story incredible. Some humans didn't just survive in these conditions. They thrived. They figured out a combination of tricks that kept them alive when everything around them was trying to kill them. Scientists have studied this question using thermal models. They took the bodies of ancient humans from a site called Cima de los Huesos in Spain and plugged their measurements into a heat loss simulation. The math is brutal. A naked human at rest needs an air temperature of about 27 to 28 degrees Celsius just to stay comfortable. Anything colder, and your body starts working overtime just to keep your core temperature at 37 degrees. In an ice age winter, the temperature could drop below minus 20 degrees Celsius at night. That is nearly a 50-degree difference from what your body is designed for. So how did they bridge that gap? Here is the first answer, and it might surprise you. Scientists ran a simple heat loss model. They simulated a human sleeping in the cold with nothing but a fur covering. The results were dramatic. A simple fur bed cover, just one layer of animal hide, was an incredibly effective insulator. It trapped body heat. It blocked wind. It kept the sleeper's core temperature stable even in freezing conditions. Here is the key finding from the study. The researchers concluded that physiological adaptations alone, things like thicker body fat or a faster metabolism, were not enough to survive European winters. Even during the warmer periods, winter temperatures still dropped below 0 degrees Celsius at many sites. But combine a fur covering with a wind-sheltered spot, maybe a cave or a rock overhang, and suddenly survival became possible. So here is the crazy part. The researchers also concluded that advanced fire technology was not necessary for humans to colonize northern Europe. Yes, fire helped. But it wasn't the magic bullet. The real magic was fur. But sleeping under fur only works if you have the fur in the first place. And that means you need to hunt. Ice Age people were masters of hide processing. They hunted reindeer, bison, mammoths, and horses. Every single animal they killed was a walking survival kit. They used stone scrapers to remove fat and flesh from the inside of the skin. They used bone needles to sew pieces together into tailored clothing. And here is something cool. Archaeologists have found evidence of intensive hide processing and sewing at sites in North America dating back 12,000 years. Think about that. These people were making waterproof, windproof clothing using nothing but animal parts and sharp rocks. They weren't just surviving, they were crafting. And then there's shelter. During the Ice Age, people lived under rock overhangs or in the entrance areas of caves. In the open landscape, they built tents out of wooden poles or, get this, mammoth bones. These tents were large enough for an entire family. They had a fireplace in the center for warmth and cooking. So while the world outside was frozen solid, inside the tent it was livable. But here is the part that really gets me. The humans who survived the Ice Age weren't just smart, they were also changing. Their bodies were adapting in real time. Scientists believe that Ice Age populations developed wider bodies and shorter extremities. Why? Because a wide body with short limbs has less surface area for its mass. That means it loses heat more slowly. It's the same reason animals in cold climates tend to be stocky. It's called Bergmann's rule, and it applied to humans too. And then there was diet. Ice Age hunter-gatherers ate fatty meat, fish, and bone marrow. These foods are high in calories and fat, which means more energy to burn for body heat. There is also evidence they chewed birch pitch, a natural resin, probably to keep their teeth healthy. They made medicines from berries, herbs, and mushrooms. These people weren't primitive, they were resourceful. So let's put it all together. How did ancient humans survive minus 60 degrees? First, they used fur as their primary weapon. Sleeping under hides and wearing tailored clothing gave them insulation that their own bodies couldn't provide. Second, they built shelters. Caves, rock overhangs, and mammoth-bone tents blocked the wind and trapped heat. Third, they adapted physically. Stockier bodies, shorter limbs, and a diet rich in fat and protein kept their internal furnaces burning. And finally, they moved. They followed the herds. They retreated to warmer refugia during the worst cold spells and bounced back when the climate warmed. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Humans have always been survivors. Not because we are the strongest, not because we are the fastest, but because we adapt. We figure things out. We wear the skins of the animals we hunt. We build homes out of their bones. The next time you complain about the cold, remember this. Your ancestors survived -60 degrees Celsius. You can survive your commute. If this video made you appreciate the people who came before us, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what is the coldest temperature you have ever experienced? I'll read the best answers. Stay warm out there. See you in the next video.